Death Spiral, the only anime podcast that will explode if it goes under 60 animes per hour.
Oh God, we got to get that rate up, man. We got to get these numbers up.
We got to go real fast. So I'm just gonna name some. Is that okay?
Yeah,
I'm just gonna throw some out.
Yeah, right off the top of the dome, spitball some anime.
All right.
God,
Evangelion. Cowboy Bebop. Oh God! Serial Experiments Lane. Paranoia Agent.
Yeah, that's one. Come on, keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Gurren Lagann.
Well, that's pretty close to Evangelion, but yeah, no.
Okay, yeah. Gundam Wing.
Yep.
Gundam Wing. It's
actually
it's the 29th anniversary or something.
No, we're well past that, man. Oh God! Oh, the timer's counting down.
Really?
Yeah, it was the 30th last year.
30th? Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. You don't remember they released like a whole animated like 30th anniversary celebration video, and everyone thought that they were going to be making new Gundam Wing stuff, and they were like, no, that was it.
There's like a limited manga series that is like set somewhere in the timeline, but no, we're not doing more Gundam Wing.
No.
Yes, I remember that now. That was not funny.
Oh shit, we got to get back to the list. The bomb is going to go off.
Okay. Wait a second. I didn't say anything about a bomb.
No, disregard that. Disregard that last part.
Okay, listen, I actually do have some anime. These are new anime, things nobody's seen yet.
Wait, could it possibly be because we're in spring anime 2026 of spring, the anime season?
We are. And in fact, we are again rapidly truly exploding into it. We're no longer on the cusp.
We're in it.
Entered it very forcefully.
I'm several shows in already. We're. I just want to say that we gotta shotgun out these season previews because they are ceasing to be previews and starting to be post views.
Just views.
Yeah, just views.
Soon to be just views. But I did want to wrap up my list from last time because I do have a couple things I still wanted to mention that were things I actually found interesting as opposed to some of the things I just threw on the list. Because I do have a couple things that I think are going to be interesting this season. Do you remember last time I mentioned a bit disdainfully the Fist of the North Star returning with a new series?
Yes, with the CG animation. We did talk about that.
With the CG animation, yes. And I had said that it's kind of a bummer that they're resurrecting this legendary series and like giving it another shot, but they decided to kind of throw it all out the window from second one because of, I really couldn't tell you. I can't imagine it's that much cheaper than just animating it. I really don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But they made some bad decisions. Now, they're doing it again. Well, different people are doing it again, but they're doing it this time to Patlabor.
Oh, yes. I did see something about Patlabor on here.
Yes.
And you know what?
The mobile police.
Yes. Well, so I'm going to be honest. That was less impactful of a thing for me because, like you just said, Patlabor is about cops. And
yes,
in this day and age, it's like, even if they have big robots, now I'm just thinking about, well, shit, what if the cops had big robots? That is a scary thought to me. That gives me stress.
It is actually, we are in a completely different age where, okay, so actually that's really good because as part of the promo for this, they drove a 1-to-1 sized Patlabor machine around Tokyo.
And people got down on their knees and started praying to it, hoping that the terrifying monster would pass them over for sacrifice.
Well, it was pulling people over and asking them to step out of the vehicle.
And were they doing it?
I would do it. Wouldn't you do it if you saw that?
I'm just imagining
I
like
would
the
get out
scene
of-
from Jurassic Park where the T-Rex's eye is like right next to the car window. Just citizen, exit the vehicle.
Yeah, it's if I remember correctly, the main machine, the main mech was called Alphonse.
Okay.
And they were driving. They had a replica of Alphonse on the back of like this big pickup truck, right? This flatbed. And they were just driving it around, which is a fun thing in theory. The concept is fun because you just spark off a lot of like, Insta posts and people posting on social media that like, holy shit, check this out. This thing just drove by me, which is good. It's very clever and it's good. But in the world we now live in, the idea of seeing that in real life, knowing that there's a cop in there, it hits way different.
Yeah.
When you see those things walking through traffic in the anime now, it's like, I don't like that. That's bad.
To be fair, the image of police officers in giant fighting robots patrolling the streets of like near future Tokyo was never really a comforting image if you really think about it. Like, I know you were saying that it hits different now, but it's like, should it have hit different back then? Were the police more trustworthy with their giant mechs back then? I don't know.
Okay, well here's what I'll say, because in the movie, did that one have a subtitle? I can't remember, but they're counter-terrorists basically, right? They don't do a lot of patrolling. In the movie, they spend a lot of time doing investigative work about this like specific terrorist threat that they're trying to counteract. And in that way, it's like, okay, fine. That's all right. It's like detective stuff going on. When they're actually piloting the mech, they're doing, these cool sequences where they're like fighting other mechs or like, shutting down these big facilities that are filled with defenses and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Which is like, okay, yeah, counterterrorism.
Okay.
We've all been softened up.
Now, when you say counterterrorism, like, what terrorists are they fighting? Or are they just fighting, like, ambiguous men who want to do violence?
Well, no, there is a specific terrorist who has set a nefarious plot in motion in the movie, endangering the citizens of Tokyo. It's actually pretty nice. It's fun because at the beginning of the movie, we do see the terrorist killing himself. So it's kind of like a race against time to figure out what this guy's nefarious plot is.
I see. Okay.
And stop it. Without the ability to like just 24 him, like throw him in a chair and waterboard him.
Uh-huh.
So it's a lot of fun stuff going on.
Okay.
I don't know the plot of this reboot. I know it's a limited series. It's like eight episodes. I think it launches next month. Oh, they got the trailer right here. Let me see what the animation looks like.
All right.
So it looks like for the most part we've got traditional animation. It looks pretty good. I like the animation. Now, I am seeing here some of the mech stuff is CGI. The mechs seem to be CGI.
Mm-hmm.
That is
I don't know.
I'll wait to see how it plays out. I don't really like that. Don't really want to see CGI mechs in my mech anime.
Yeah.
Gotta admit.
I mean, it's honestly just, it's an overall no from me, dog, because it's got 3 strikes against it. It's about cops, which I don't like. It's got the CGI mechs, which I don't like. And it's got an ambiguous subtitle. You were wondering, it's called Pat Labor, Easy Y. What's that about? I have no idea what this
Easy
movie is
Y.
about.
Don't know what that is. Well, it's an 8-part series.
Don't know what this series is about. I couldn't say. So, thumbs down. Sorry.
Thumbs down. My mate.
A pat.
A pat.
A cap.
A cab. A cap. A pack. Cap?
Yeah, APAC. All Pat Labors are
APAC.
bastards. APAB.
My big thing is that this is a series that kind of, was big, but really kicked off because Mamoru Oshii did like the mech work in the movie, like, and that's big. Like, that's a big deal. That's the cream of the crop where it comes to like robot animation. You know what I mean?
But why would they get Mamoru Oshii to do like the animation on a bunch of like CGI stuff? That's not his thing.
No. You're confused. You're confused. I'm talking about the originals.
Oh, yes. Okay, I am confused. Never mind.
Yes, I'm saying those movies are classics,
Yes.
like all timers, because Mamoru Oshii did like storyboards and direction of like the best mech animation that exists.
Yes. I mean, outside of Acura, you've got Spriggan and obviously Pat Labor.
Spriggan's good.
And
Pat Labor's good.
I always blank on the third one, but another one he did about post-apocalyptic, like giant death robots, which was very cool. But yeah, he's the man.
I mean, he's done all the classics, right? He did Blood. He did Jinro. Pretty fucking good. Pretty good one.
Yep.
That's a good one.
One of the good ones.
Yeah, so going back for it, but doing the mechs in 3D, almost feels like, I don't want to be dramatic, right? But seems like a kind of a betrayal of the original work. It's at the very least, it's a bummer. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah, again, I would feel more strongly about it if it was something other than Pat Labor, but I see the overall issue, and I agree, it is a bummer.
Yeah, if it was Appleseed, there's already a 3D pedigree there. Who cares?
Yeah, there's already several 3D Appleseed movies.
Yeah.
In fact, I remember the first 3D Appleseed movie that came out when you and I were in high school. I remember seeing that and thinking, wow, this CG animation is bullshit. I hate this. And that's supposed to be one of the better early CG animated anime movies.
Yeah. We still had a long way to go,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's this season. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. What else you got? Let's move through this list here, because like I said, I only had a couple things left on my season preview list that we didn't talk about last time, and I've already started watching two of the things that I have left to talk about. So let's get through what you want to see, and then I can make fun of this trash a little bit.
Sure. I'll knock these ones out.
Okay.
Sorry, that was a big one, so I was very interested in it. But okay, here's one that I find really interesting. Again, I kind of left stuff that I had never heard about or read down to the bottom of my list, which is why we didn't get to most of these. This one is called Nippon Sangoku.
Yes, I did see the trailer for this.
Yeah. Now
this is another one that I wanted to see.
Fucking insane. This looks crazy.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
This is about like a near future where Japan has kind of split back down into the warring states, but this time there are planes and bombs and autonomous drone machines.
Yeah, that last one maybe is a bit of an escalation from the other two.
Yeah, shit's getting like, it's way worse now, I bet there's probably a guy with a sword, but like, we're not really doing sword fighting anymore.
Swords are out, drones are in.
Drones are in. Drones are the new swords. Now, this is by Studio Kafka, who have not put out a lot of work, but the work that they have put out is, it's Ancient Magus Bride, which as much as I do not like the concept, it's creepy. It's a creepy concept. Does look great. The animation's great. They also did a couple of those shorts on the Tatsuki Fujimoto collection.
Yeah, I was about to point that out. That's where I first got like my attention was drawn to them as as someone to pay attention to. They did a couple of the better animated shorts in that collection.
Yeah, I think they're great.
Yeah.
And they're working on the third Mononoke movie, of course. So so they've got the chops.
By the way, I am watching the trailer for Nippon Sangoku right now, and I can confirm there be a sword guy.
Oh, there's a sword guy in the trailer?
Oh, yeah, we got sword guys.
Okay, I spoke too soon then.
Yeah.
I guess there are sword guys. But you'll notice about that trailer as well, though, that, damn, bro, it's juicy, man. That shit looks good.
It looks good. You know,
that looks good.
Is this based off of like a light novel series or a manga or anything? Do you know?
I have no idea. Like I said, I have never heard of this before.
Okay, I'll have to see. I'll have to see where they go with it, because I just want to say, and this has nothing to do with this anime or the state of anime in general right now. I'm just pointing out that revisionist historical fiction is on the rise globally. Just going to put that out there. Let's see where they go with their vision of a future Japan.
Sure. Doesn't seem good. I'll tell you that. No matter what happens in the anime, from the description of what's going on, it does not seem good.
Yeah.
Japan has fallen into 3 warring territories again.
Hate it when that happens.
But this time they have nukes. So, pretty bad. Pretty bad.
That seems like a bad thing.
I'm very interested. Between, like, an actual interesting plot that's not, a shonen kid, and this crazy good animation, I am very interested in that one. So that's a big deal for me.
All right.
This next one is something that has been sitting on my read list for a long time, and I feel bad about not getting around to it because I've heard a bunch of good things. This is called Snowball Earth, and I know what you're gonna say.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
I know you're gonna say. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, they're finally adapting Fire Punch. Well, no.
Oh.
No, they're not.
Yeah. No. That's go on.
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're adapting Fire Punch. You remember shit, what was that movie called? The Day After? Is that what it was called? The disaster movie?
Well, there were 2. There was The Day After and there was 2012. You remember 2012?
Yeah, I remember 2012. That's the one with the Buddhist monk who tells Nicolas Cage that the world's going to end,
Yes,
right?
yes.
No,
the Day After was with Jake Gyllenhaal? Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. It has that cool sequence where they're like trapped in the skyrise.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, it's sick. It's sick as hell. And like the earth is freezing over. Well, this movie takes place like way after that.
Okay. All right. So Earth is a bit chilly. Got it. So
it's like a snowball, you could say.
Yeah, okay.
The Earth has become sort of
like a big
snowball.
ball of snow is what you're saying.
It's like a big ball of snow. Yeah.
All right. Hard to conceptualize, but I think I got it. I think I got it in my head. All right. So Earth is a big ice sphere. What happens?
Well, what happens is that monsters come out of the ground.
Ah, shit.
And start
I knew it was
going to
be some bullshit like that. That's always happening.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Okay, here's the twist though.
You know how it is every time it gets cold out, the monsters they come up out of the ground.
The monsters come up out of the ground,
yeah,
to seek heat.
Uh-huh.
Here's the twist though. Is in a regular Earth, that would be bad, right?
Right.
If the monsters came up out of the ground and killed everyone.
Yeah. Wouldn't like it.
Now, this is what's crazy about a snowball Earth, because it flips everything on its head. Monsters coming out of the ground? That's good, baby.
Oh,
that's real good.
That's a preferable thing.
That's a good thing. You know why?
Because the
fucking meat, bro.
Oh, I see.
It's meat.
I see.
You can eat them.
Because all of the regular meat died because it's a snowball, and so now
it's a snowball,
and now they have to eat the monsters that come up out of the ground. I get you. All right.
Yeah. You think they're growing wheat on the snowball Earth?
Probably not. Well, I don't know. They could they could Matt Damon in The Martian and like grow wheat in a cave with their poop. That's what he did in that movie, right? That's what that movie was about.
Can we not?
It's science. It's
I don't
scientifically backed
please.
up.
Can we please just keep this civil? Hey, speaking of that, I did go see Project Hail Mary.
Oh, did he grow any wheat with his poop?
No, but that is the Andy Weir book that he wrote before The Martian.
Right, where he makes friends with a cute little rock guy.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he makes friends with a cute little rock guy. And the rock guy's pretty cute. He is cute, I'll admit. He uses too much slang. Personally, I think he used too much slang. But, aliens wouldn't use slang.
Are you sure?
I'm putting my flag down on that one. Aliens would not use
Aliens
slang.
don't use slang, ever.
They don't use slang.
Okay.
They
all
wouldn't do that. Otherwise, it was a pretty cute movie. It was nice. I love Ryan Gosling so much, He's so great.
You do have a bit of a infatuation with him. A bit of a limerence kind of a thing going on.
He's great. He can do it all, man. He can do it all. Truly a true movie star.
A Renaissance man, if there ever was one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like his band, where he writes spooky songs about making out in graveyards and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for that. I don't care for graveyards.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's too spooky. So yeah, this is this is like a kind of apocalypse survival story. I have mixed feelings about post-apocalypse stuff, especially right now. But I think it's interesting. I prefer it to...
I would just like to point out that as of the recording of this episode, we are pre-apocalypse still.
We're still pre-apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's true. I should mention we have not... If we were currently snowballing Earth, I might have some problems with the realism in this anime, but as long as it remains speculative, I think it's fine. I like a lot of the animation. The animation looks pretty good. I like that the main character wakes up from a coma. You gotta love that.
Oh, great way to start.
Yeah.
In high school, I wrote many a amateur sci-fi short story attempt with a protagonist waking up from a coma with no memory.
It's one of the most classic setups.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it happens in Project Hail Mary. Just not to bring it back to Ryan Gosling, but that is how that movie.
We know you
opens.
want to bring it back to Ryan Gosling. It's okay.
He's great. He's great. It's like 2.5 hours long, and he just acts against a tennis ball the whole time. It's like, damn, bro. And he really pulls it off. That's hard. That's hard to do.
After every take during production, he would go, fucking take that, Ian McKellen. Act your fucking heart out.
Ian McKellen couldn't even do that shit. He was like, I want a hobbit on this fucking set. I need to talk to like a small guy. So yeah, that's one that I'm actually genuinely interested in. It's weird that they have giant monsters, but like otherwise I am genuinely interested in that.
Okay. All right.
Okay, here's one that I have no interest in watching, but I just wanted to mention because of personal reasons.
All right, here we go.
This one is called Megami Isekai Tensai Nani ni Naritai desu ka ore yusha no rokutsu de.
Sure. Okay. All right.
Yeah. That's here. According to this, the translation is my ribdiculous reincarnation, which I don't think that's right. Could that be right?
That's what it says. And I'm looking at Wikipedia, so you know it's correct.
It says my ribdiculous reincarnation.
Ridiculous reincarnation, yes.
I'm so mad about this. Okay, so this is about an isekai protagonist who, let's say he continues isekaiing infinitely.
Okay, so, I mean, well, you have a connection to this right away because you've been working on the infinite isekai as a concept.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I have been working on that as a book for like a couple years now. Yeah, you're right. That's crazy that they're just doing that. This is not. Just to be clear, this is not the first time this has this is a thing either. I have to say this is a stupid gag one. The last one I read was a stupid gag one. This is in no way overlapping with the one I'm writing,
which is super
more of a
serious
critique.
business. Like, it's
Very super fucking serious.
yeah.
I'm taking it extremely seriously.
It's going to be the blood meridian of isekai.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for. Yeah, the blood meridian. I'm going for the they kill horses, don't they kind of vibe.
Yep.
But yeah, this is I think what is interesting about this is yet another sign that people are losing their taste for this kind of thing. These are always early danger signs for genre fatigue. In this case, sub-genre fatigue.
Isekai is in danger of growing stale. I want to take it to weird new places.
Yeah. So this is going to be really bad, and I just want to throw this on here because of the whole ripping me off thing, and I'm mad at it.
I don't understand the title. Where does the rib come in?
I don't know what that means, and I don't care to know.
My ridiculous reincarnation. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means. I really don't. To a Japanese audience, I really don't know what the implication would be.
Like,
to me, like rib immediately. Like I go to Adam's.
Yeah, the Adam and
Adam's
Eve
rib.
story is kind of, but that's just because we're Western built.
Yeah, no, I hate it. I wish I didn't, but that's where I go.
Okay, I gotta move on from this. This title is gonna bug me too much.
No, I hate it. It really drives me insane. Here's the last one that I found interesting before we move on to yours.
Okay.
This one is called Hyaki Yakusho, or I guess there's a lot of different translations to this. Beyond Twilight, Tales of 100 Ghosts Traveling by the Night, Selected Pandemonium. Who knows? Again, who knows?
Yeah.
This is a story about, I guess, like kind of a kid who inherits his like ghost sight from his grandfather and some kind of demon guardian, and things like weird ghost stories just kind of like happen to him all the time, and it's like episodic. So it's a bit of him just kind of like wandering around and having ghost stories happen to him.
Okay.
Which that is my shit.
I mean, I do like that, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would like the concept just fine if it was like just pure anthology and not centered around, like, what if it was just the ghost stories? Why does it have to be around this one guy?
I think because people like a framing device. You know, like what if X-Files didn't have Mulder and Scully in it?
I guess, but, you know, they also had just like that on-screen sexual tension that you could cut with a knife every time they were on screen. Like that was the juice there.
Well, we don't know anything about what's his name, Ritsu, or his guardian.
What's his name?
Blue Storm.
Blue Storm.
Blue Storm. that's close to Scully, right?
Yeah, sure. Where do they? I still don't understand how they come up with these names sometimes. I know it's probably passe to say at this point, but it's like they're just throwing these things up against the wall and seeing what combinations come out, right?
Yeah, like what does Scully even mean?
Yeah. Mulder. No one's ever met a Mulder. That's a made-up name.
No, but I do think that is appropriate because he was moldering away in his stupid little office before Scully found him.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now we're getting into the realm of homophones because he was Mulder with a U, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Mulder you're talking about is kind of like, do you Mulder with a U or do you Mulder with an O?
No, it's an O, but they were being cute with it. They were getting a little cute.
Okay, a little cheeky. All right. What was the name of this one again?
This one is called Hyaki Yakusho, and I really appreciate this because, you know, it's very reminiscent to me of a lot of older anthology ghost stories I'm really into. I don't know if you ever heard of Sky High, but I found Sky High to be really interesting. in sort of this mode. Of course, the classic Hell Girl, which is one of my favorites. Hell Girl kicks ass. Really good. And is in a series of like unconnected ghost-ish stories, sort of little moral tales, parables, right? That uses Hell Girl as a connective tissue, as a framing device, right? But it's not really about her. She has a website where people email her, and that's how she gets involved.
Which is great. I love that. That's a very funny framing device. I think that's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love when characters have websites. When mystical, magical characters have a listing on a website where you can email them. I think that's awesome. I wish we could bring that back, but now you have to like DM them on Twitter.
God, we live
not as cool.
We live in an uncool hellscape.
Yeah, so I want to see what Ritsu and Blue Storm get up to. I'm very interested in that. Also, there's no trailer. I don't know how the animation is like, but I love the covers of the manga. Like really great artwork.
I'm looking at some of them right now, and it's got this really kind of like, I don't know what you call it, like soft, kind of like
watercolors.
Watercolor, smudge painting kind of technique going on. Very cool stuff.
It's very cool. I love it. I love the way that looks.
Yeah.
Who knows if the animation will actually look like that, but I like it a lot. So that's my entire season's selection. That's everything.
You've gone through them?
Yeah, I've gone through them.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Everything else looks like shit.
Those are the ones to watch out for. Now, as I mentioned before, I did have a couple things left on my to-watch list, but, you know, seeing as how we're plowing right into the season, even as we record this episode right now, the anime just keeps coming out. It won't stop.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. I'm not going to talk about it, but yes, I have watched Dorohedoro already.
Oh.
And it is good.
Didn't even need to be told to know that one.
Guess what? It's good, idiot.
Yeah.
Don't argue with me.
What were you even thinking? Come on.
What were you thinking? You think it was going to be bad?
Oh, well,
Idiot.
It's funny you should mention that because I did watch a couple anime as well in this new season of Spring 2026 anime.
Oh,
and
okay.
I did think they were going to be bad, and they were bad. And now I'm going to talk about them.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you watched the bad ones.
Yes. Listen.
I appreciate that.
No, that is my strategy. I'm going to get the bad ones out of the way, and then next week we'll talk about some of the good ones, because we haven't talked about Witch Hat Atelier in depth yet, at least not the anime, and we haven't talked about Marriage Toxin, and we haven't talked about some of the other ones. So don't worry, folks. The good stuff is coming, but right now we've got to eat our vegetables, so to speak. And of course I am referring to, maybe I mentioned this one briefly in my list last time, but we didn't talk about it. Maid-san wa Taberu Dake, or Miss Maid's Food Diary. And yeah.
Oh,
okay,
man.
so I am not a fan of the narrative framing, okay?
Okay. You want to get out in front of that one.
I want to get out in front of this one. I am a sucker for
all right.
anime about food. That has been established. It is one of the very first things that I established about my character for this podcast, is that I like food anime.
You like how horny they are.
Well, that was part of it, yes. I think we've been pretty clear how we feel about the maid trope in anime. It's bad. We don't like it. This features all of the maid stereotypes that you can think of.
Great.
Not those ones, you sick pervert. I know what you were thinking. God,
Maid Wars.
get that out of your head. No. So this goes back to what I was saying about the laundry anime from last season. This is another story that is fetishizing like the role that labor plays in a hierarchical society, like a strictly hierarchical society. Also, I wanted this. This occurred to me at the time that I was watching that. What anime considers to be a maid? Like, that's not what maids do most of the time, right? The anime maid really kind of functions more like, I don't know, like a personal servant, like a PA.
It it varies from anime to anime. There is occasionally maids that kind of do more of like almost like a personal butler thing.
They're doing the butler thing, but they're also bodyguards a lot of times.
Yeah, they're like bodyguards. They have a real keen interest in the idea of a maid who has a big gun under her skirt.
Yeah.
Love that.
Well, I mean, that is funny. That's comedy gold.
You like that?
Yeah, that is funny.
You like that?
Pulling
like in Black Lagoon, I think they did that.
Yes, well, she was a nun, which is also funny, to pull a big gun out of your habit. Like, that's funny. That's a good joke.
Yeah, I guess.
What I was trying to get at is that, like, that's not what a maid does in real life. Like, a maid is someone you hire to come in and clean your house and organize your shit because you can't get your own life together. Because
you have more money than
you have more money than ability to take care of yourself. That is what a maid, that is the gap that a maid is meant to fill in. No, the stereotypical anime maid is kind of pulling in a lot of influence from like medieval fantasy, like lady in waiting stereotypes almost. Like, right? Like they're kind of like
there is a bit of like Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
The late 1800s aristocracy kind of feel to it.
There's a big emphasis on like, I come from a proud family of maids that has served this rich family for generations, right?
Yeah,
like,
peasant mindset.
Yeah, peasant mindset, exactly. And that is 100% what this anime is steeped in. So the setting, the story is this maid, her name is Suzume, has been living outside of the UK or outside of Japan. She's Japanese, grew up in the UK, although for some reason, and this is another one of those weird situations where she was like, I don't know why she's a maid, because they make it pretty clear right from the get-go that she's from a rich family.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so she's a maid in the UK for a Japanese millionaire who lives in the UK and also apparently only speaks Japanese and has Japanese-speaking servants in his household. And she... Yeah. This is all stuff they established to explain why she can speak perfect Japanese, even though she didn't grow up in Japan.
She learned it to be a maid to a Japanese guy.
Yes, even though she is Japanese and I think she was maybe, I don't know why she's a maid. That's what I'm trying to get at, because she comes back to Japan because the mansion that she works at has to have a bunch of construction work done to it. And so her boss is like, you should go home and go back to Japan for a couple years while I get the mansion fixed up. I'm gonna pay you.
Classic maid stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna pay you to do it.
No, she's getting furloughed.
Yes. And so she goes back to Japan. First episode, visits her grandparents, who they establish are wealthy Japanese people. They don't address it. They don't address why she was raised as this dude's maid in England. They never talk about it. But she spends the entire thing is just a framework for why she can do this fish out of water act with everything in Japan, because the general premise of the show is that she's, never lived in Japan and now she has to. And so she's discovering Japanese food. And every episode they do a little bit, a little skit where she wants to eat some different type of food, and then she has some kind of interesting encounter with a local. That is the bare bones skeleton of what this show is. But what they've tried to flesh out around it is I don't know, perverse and unsatisfying. Because all she does is complain about how much she misses being a maid in England. And how...
Wait. There's an important distinction. Does she miss being in England, or does she miss being a maid?
She misses being a maid.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like it's a recurring gag that she's like constantly cleaning her neighbor's apartments for free because she has to like get out her uncontrollable maid urges.
Ugh.
Right? Isn't that the worst?
No, this is terrible.
I legitimately hated this.
Where does the food come in?
Again, the food is probably the most least consequential part of each thing. All it is a framework for stuff to happen to her. She will
But
be...
the diary.
There is no diary.
There's no... What do you mean there's no diary?
She's not documenting any of this.
But where... Then how... The food diary. It's a food diary.
The show... The show itself is a peep show diary into her life via food.
No, that's not how diaries work. That's not a diary. A diary is a thing you do about yourself.
She's doing no diarying.
This is like Peeping Tom shit. If you're describing that the character is being spied on by a diegetic cameraman, that is so terrifying.
Wait, but isn't that every story? Isn't that everything?
No. The implication in every story is not that there is an actual person following her around, documenting her every move. If you are implying that there is a diary involved, but she is not writing it, then that means that somebody has to be doing the diary part, which would mean that there is a person.
But there is no diary involved.
This is awful. I hate this.
You know what she has? She has a outdated, like, Rick Steves travel guide to Tokyo that she's marked up with restaurants that she wants to eat at.
Is it actually Rick Steves? Did they drop the Rick Steves
It's not.
name?
It's not a licensed Rick Steves appearance. No.
Ah, shit. Oh, okay.
Although I was surprised. I was watching a couple weeks ago the season final episode for You and I Are Polar Opposites. They did shell out for the full licensed Spotify ad in there, though. They got to use the actual name and logo and everything.
Really?
Yep.
I would make me sad if they had to pay to use that. Like, shouldn't product placement be the other way around?
Well, then why do you have so many knockoff weird brand names in anime? Like, shouldn't they be calling it, like, Spamify or something? Something weird like that?
I've always been confused at the deployment of those. Because my general understanding of product placement is that you are the one making the choice not to feature the product, the actual real brand name, because you're not getting paid to do it.
No, I can only guess that the laws are different in Japan, and maybe it's like you actually have to pay a license to the company to broadcast, or you have to get their explicit permission to broadcast their actual logo. I don't know. I'm not a Japanese copyright lawyer, and I never will be.
And you never will. Not at this rate.
Yeah, not at this rate.
Not at this rate.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate that. I hate the Spotify thing. I hate the Maid diary. I hate all of that shit.
Well, no diary. Again, no diary in sight.
I hate the lack of a diary in a show called The Food Diary.
Yeah, this
Awful.
was really bad. And again, plays right into my theory about animation budgets because it's kind of like freaking gorgeous just in terms of like the background art quality and the way they animate things and the food, the way it looks. Like, it's actually really, really good looking, and that is probably the worst part about it for me.
Wow. So
Yeah.
they went pretty hard.
They went really hard on the food stuff.
Is it horny?
Yes, but only to the food, not to her. She gets horny over food. No one gets horny at her. That's seems to be a very clear rule so far.
Except the camera.
Except for the camera, yes. Wait, no.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's weird and bad.
Yeah, weird and bad. Don't pay this any mind, but we can cross it off the 2026 list for spring anime.
One down.
One down, baby.
One down.
All right, I got one more that I wanted to talk about. Another bad one. Another one that we've made fun of already a couple times just from the title alone.
Oh, God.
I did watch the first episode of I Made Friends with the second prettiest girl in my class. And I just want to say, like, basically every joke prediction that we made about what this was about, just based off of that title, is 100% true. It's completely accurate.
So it perfectly encapsulates what the show actually is.
Except for one thing.
She actually is the prettiest girl?
Well, again, animated, hard for me to tell objectively.
They all look the same to me.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, motherfucker, there are 3 girls in play here.
But which one's the prettiest?
Apparently, the second prettiest one is the prettiest.
The second prettiest one is the prettiest? So they're fucking with us right off the bat.
Yeah, no, it's awful. No, okay, so this is I don't know, we'll call it a rom-com for now. It has your standard kind of do nothing, is nothing protagonist. He's not even like an otaku. Like his thing is that he's literally has no personality. Like the teacher asks him, like, all right, everybody, this is the start of the year. Introduce yourselves. What are you into? He's like, I just like watching TV on like by myself on the weekends, and I don't go out and I don't do anything. He's not an obsessive. He doesn't have like any weird like hobbies or anything that would make him like remotely interesting, or even stuff to indicate that he's like unlikable to other people. He's what do you call it? He's the guy that gets treated like air. People barely even register that he exists in his class, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then opposite to him, we have the standard popular girls clique in the class, which features the
naturally.
titular first and second and third prettiest girls, which I still don't like the title. Don't like that at all.
No, it's bad. Do they like post daily rankings like on the school, like a leaderboard?
No, actually, they go out of their way. They don't post them. They go out of their way to show that he is hashtag not like the other guys, because he's the only guy in class by virtue of being a social reject that doesn't like openly talk about how hot all of his female classmates are. Again,
Oh, he sounds like an awesome guy.
well, It's only because he doesn't have any friends to talk about that stuff with. You see, they make that very clear.
And he has no internal monologue because he's barely human.
He does not have a soul. He doesn't have anything going on in there. He just likes consuming media and going home and sitting quietly in the dark. That's his thing.
Yeah, do you know Robert McKee, right?
Yeah.
the screenwriting guru. Breaking every one of Robert McKee's screenwriting rules used to be considered like very edgy and avant-garde, right? Kind of like a marker that you are trying to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
And this, so far, writing a character in this way is probably the antithesis of basically every single thing you would ever want to do in a narrative, as a narrative, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm being a little hard on him. He does have one quality. He has a quality. I mentioned that he likes watching movies. Specifically, he likes watching like B-tier creature flicks.
Okay, so there's one thing.
This is his one thing. Is that he likes shark movies and he likes alligator movies.
Okay,
that's his thing.
well, let me tell you. This is what Robert McKee says about character, and tell me if this applies, because it seems like maybe we're turning a corner back into McKee's territory. The revelation of character, according to Robert McKee. People are not what they appear to be. A hidden nature waits concealed behind a facade of traits. No matter what they say, no matter how they comport themselves, the only way we ever come to know characters in depth is through their choices under pressure. This revelation of deep character is fundamental. Major characters cannot be at heart what they seem to be at face. The writer's task is to structure story events and design the supporting cast to draw out the character's true nature. Sound familiar?
Sounds a little bit familiar. Yeah.
Sounds a little familiar?
Yeah.
Interesting. So maybe Robert was spitting a little game when it comes to anime protagonists.
So, that's and he's our main character. That's him.
Yeah.
The premise.
So would you say that the supporting cast is setting up to draw the character's true nature to the surface?
I would say that is almost exclusively their purpose for existence.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Very interesting.
We have we immediately set up the what I was getting at was the popular girls clique. We have the titular or I guess anti-titular first prettiest girl in class.
Yeah, she is not the titular.
She's not the titular. But then we have her best friend, who is the titular second prettiest girl in class. And then they have a third friend who is presumably then probably the third prettiest girl. I don't know. They never really make that explicit point.
We don't understand her relationship to the other two girls at all.
First prettiest is kind of like the class princess type, very upbeat. The what do you call it? The adjective that they always use in anime and manga is that they're bright, right? They shine like the sun.
Yes.
They brighten up the room with their presence.
They have an inner glow.
Mm-hmm. That's her, and then her best friend is kind of the more down-to-earth, like, relatable, cool girl. And she is the one that our protagonist makes friends with. Because it turns out that she also has a shared interest of B-movie monster flicks. Like, okay.
Wow, crazy.
I know.
What a weird coincidence.
And what a weird, or what a fortunate thing for him that just like with all of these other rom-com, she is 100% willing, enthusiastically so, I should say, to do all of the emotional and social labor associated with trying to be friends with this guy, because his game, right? His entire play is he just acts confused and scared when anyone ever tries to be kind to him or sociable to him, to the point where you start to wonder if he's not a reliable narrator when he's describing like how unpopular he is, and like and how much the rest of his class like must think that he's like a nothing person, because this is all coming from him, by the way. Dude's got serious self-confidence issues. So, you know, he gets kind of called out in class during the introduction thing where he says that he likes B-movies. That piques her interest, and from then on, the first couple episodes is just her basically doing the thing in rom-com where she is throwing herself at him, like every conceivable obvious sign that you could think of maybe throwing at a guy that not even like romantically interested in, maybe someone you just want to be friends with. Like,
yeah, almost to the level where it's like kind of pathetic.
Yeah, it's like, why are you putting so much effort to quote unquote break through the shell of this complete asshole, you know? Or not even asshole, but just like what are you getting out of this? Why are you so interested in being friends with that guy, right?
Yeah, where's his inner glow?
Exactly. He has none. And I mean, to be fair, they do not go straight into the like, oh, he's got a crush on her and she's doing the, you know, Gyaru teasing him thing. I do genuinely kind of like that, at least right now, the way they've portrayed their friendship is very genuine. They like hanging out and watching bad movies and talking about them. But then they, like, you know, for drama, they always have to fall back on that thing where it's like, well, we can't let our classmates know that we're, like, platonic, casual friends with each other.
Weird.
Think of the things they might say.
It's so funny because that is, like, it's almost even, like, too retro for, like, an 80s teen movie
Yeah.
here, right? It's like they were already deconstructing that, like, trope. By the end of the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
It's very bizarre. What I like, I know probably a long time ago I talked about Sundome.
Yeah. Yeah, the pervert
is,
comic.
You know, that is the pervert comic. That is actually just the way to describe it. One of the things I really like about that is there is a Gyaru girl who ends up hanging out with the nerds, but their relationship is so clearly defined and interesting because she hangs out with them specifically because she will never fuck any of them. She's not interested in that at all, and she makes it very clear that, like, she likes hanging out with them as a break from all the other people because there is, like, no sexual tension. Like, that's what she enjoys, being, like, around these losers.
I mean, you know, good for you, girl, but also, like, ouch for those guys.
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's funny because they are like, oh, fuck, that makes us feel really bad about ourselves. But at the same time, they like that, like, a teen girl likes being around them. So they constantly trying to make this psychological trade-off.
Yeah.
And it feels real, right? That feels like, okay, nobody's playing coy. There is no, like, weird unspoken thing about it. Everybody is being upfront, and once they are, like, honest with each other, they fall into, like, a comfortable relationship.
That very much describes what's going on in this one as well.
Yeah.
And that is, like, one of the things that I kind of liked about it. That and the fact that he doesn't, because there's not this, like, it comes from this weird mindset with him where he thinks so low of himself that he can't even imagine a reality where there might be sexual tension between him and this girl. And so
Yes.
what that leaves him with is actually the ability to be completely like, you know, like calm and normal around her, because
Yeah.
the thought of like trying to pursue her that way is so far removed from how he like views their relationship. He's like, well,
Yes.
that's a stupid thing to even think about. I'm just glad that I have like a friend now that I can hang out and talk about these weird movies with.
Yeah.
I found that like premise to be genuinely kind of, you know, a little heartwarming. You know, made me feel a little emotion.
Really?
Yeah. But then
Huh.
it kind of goes into the greater plot where he immediately goes, "Hey, now that I know I can never get with you, do you want to like teach me how to be fuckable?" Like from a girl's perspective. And that's where we are.
And then it starts breaking down.
Yeah, then it starts breaking down.
I find it a little disconcerting, not in this story in particular, but more as a broad trend, because this really is like the prevailing male fantasy, that they can be pathetic, boring, uninteresting, unmotivated, completely withdrawn, and even maintaining that personality, women will do all the effort for seemingly no reason. They will go and like above and beyond to establish and maintain a relationship with you. Like that is the prevailing male fantasy right now, right?
Yeah, that you can just be a sloppy little dirt boy, and some hot lady is gonna see past your crust of filth and be like, oh, actually, it's so cool how you like Marvel movies. I'm totally willing to put up with the fact that you don't wipe your ass.
Yeah, I mean that really is it. That this lady, this like perfect manic pixie dream girl, except she's not, because she's literally just a normal like prep girl from your school, is gonna put all the effort in for you, because you're a pathetic piece of shit. But it's even more disturbing to me because being a pathetic piece of shit is also part of the fantasy, right?
Yeah.
That is like part of it, because like younger people now.
Well, that the fantasy part of that is
already.
that, like you said, it's the not putting effort into your own maintenance or improvement. That's part of the fantasy.
You don't have to do anything. But there's also that built-in part of the fantasy, because I feel like, not that this didn't happen when we were younger, but I think a large part of like the younger male experience right now is like a constant negative feedback loop about like yourself and assaulting your own self-confidence.
Yes.
It's like just the prevailing cultural milieu.
I mean, that's the reason that we have guys like Clavicular fucking out there smashing their faces with hammers. Like that is if that wasn't a real thing that people are making fun of right now, me saying that would sound like a joke.
It would be insane. Be an insane thing to say.
Yeah.
I think 10 years ago it would be an insane thing to say. But it is an interesting mirror to something that became a disturbing topic. I think that was brought to a lot of people's attention. Not people, I would say men's attention. That, there was a large bent of popular culture in our society that was like socially and commercially built around the idea of tearing young women down and destroying their self-confidence, right? Like that was like a socially and commercially encouraged like force.
Yeah.
Right. And in a way that like it's bizarre, because it is now right now it is like a bizarro mirror of that now happening to young men, except it is not like a social and commercial force that is being enacted upon them. They are doing it to themselves in a sort of like a death spiral. Interesting how that works. And they are sitting in these self-constructed social apparati whose only purpose is to reinforce their own worthlessness. And that's where I think stories like this come in. That's why things like this can exist and become popular. Because for a rom-com to work at all, somebody has, like, the main character has to be relatable to someone, right?
Yeah.
And the ones from the 80s and 90s no longer work because in those stories, the men that lead those stories don't exist anymore. They do not exist in the popular imaginary of, like, a young man or a high school boy, right? That person does not exist.
No. If you were to show them media from them, you're like, oh yeah, look at these college students all living in apartments on their own, and like,
yeah, well, that's part of it. But I think about I constantly flash back whenever we talk about these, and I bet I've probably brought this up before, but every time we talk about one of these stories like this, I flash back to Satoshi Kon's collection of short stories. Called Dream Fossil, which is really great because we get a really interesting, diverse collection of Satoshi Kon's stories, and a large part of them are not fantasy at all. They're not even like heightened dramas, which is something we don't get from Satoshi Kon's stories, like that actually became movies, right? All of his movies are heightened dramas or fantasies, right?
Yeah.
Or science fiction or whatever you want to call them. There are very few, if any, of his actual like animated work that is like, I guess what we would call slice of life. But in his short story collections, he has stories that are just about silly college guys going to the beach. And like that's the story, is literally these guys like, what if you just had a good day on a summer vacation? And like those people are so unrelatable to the modern manga audience. The guys that Satoshi Kon, who was, I don't know much about his younger life, but I'm sure was just drawing off either himself or guys he knew in college to write these little slices of life stories about what if you had a good day. Right?
Yeah.
Like that's the entire premise of the story. And
hey, what if today was a good day?
What if you just had what if it was summer and your friend's car broke down on the way to the beach, so you hopped out and you walked the rest of the way, and maybe on the way you like met a girl and she was with her friends and you were like, hey, you want to like drink a beer at the beach? And she was like, yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll see you down there. And then you did, and you had a good time.
You didn't even have to use your AK.
Didn't even have to use your AK. You saw the Goodyear blimp that day.
Yep.
It's impossible to imagine those characters being the leads of one of these like modern rom-coms. Because that does not play into modern audiences' fantasy in any way at all. It is so beyond the pale that even in, like I've said before, even in the young man's wildest dreams, they wouldn't be that guy. In fact, they would hate that guy.
Well, it's funny because this is I keep going back to this one. It's been a while since I talked about it, actually. This is why I like Hope You're Happy Lemon so much, because the main male lead in that story is that guy. Like,
yeah.
Like they're all just chill. Like it's a body swapping premise, but there's an entire arc devoted to them just like going on a little vacation with their movie club so they can make a short film at the beach. And it doesn't even go to the like anime trope places you're thinking of when I say beach. It's actually just like a chill time for everybody. That's the kind of stuff that I think is really cool. And yeah. I agree with what you're saying about it. This kid.
Yeah, I guess I should say, just to cover our ass, it's not that these stories cannot or do not exist now. It's just it is no longer.
It's not the dominant flavor.
Yeah, we hold very little room in the current cultural imaginary for stories and characters like that. That's why we see so many of this guy in these stories that are getting turned into shows.
Yeah.
I think a lot about what was the one from a couple seasons ago about the kid, all the girls who get rejected end up hanging out with the one dude.
Oh, not another losing heroine.
Not another losing heroine. Yes. Like even that guy who is not necessarily the misanthropic, like empty shell loser. He's kind of just a guy who likes reading shoujo.
Yeah, he's a similar vein. It's more like this kind of archetype of the guy who doesn't want to get noticed. You know, he's like, both of them is like, you know, his thing is that he likes reading shoujo. This guy's thing is that he likes watching B movies. But both of them, their dominant thing is like, I just want to keep my head down. Don't talk to anybody. I just want to get home and do my thing. And like, that's it.
Yes. Which is like, even if you don't come out and say death to normies, is sort of like that prevailing kind of like, not totally misanthropic, but like anthropic kind of character personality. And it is, again, even in that story, like the women have to forcefully insert themselves into his life, right?
Yes. I think that part is far more consequential to these types of stories, to what we're talking about. The fact that the woman has to, like I was saying, do the hard part, do the labor of the relationship.
Do all of the emotional labor, and in that case, just
to
for
what did Robert McKee say? To draw the character into his own being.
Yeah, to draw out the character's true nature.
True nature, yes.
And the only like reward they get for that guy is that he kind of like bemusedly watches their like character dramas play out behind his kind of like detached facade, right? Which is like, that's almost more insulting.
They're acting like the audience in their own story.
Yeah. Hey, don't do that to people. It's weird.
Yeah.
That sucks.
It fucking sucks. Don't do that.
Oh, shit.
All right. I think that's enough about I made friends with the second prettiest girl in my class. To be fair, I did like it more than Miss Maid's Food Diaries. It did the thing. It did the thing that it said it was going to do in the title. No diary in the Maid one. This one, he made friends with that girl. Whether or not she's the second prettiest is totally subjective. Not my call. But he did make friends with her.
Why does that even have to come up? Why are we even including that?
You know what? Like I was saying, he's a cool guy. He's enlightened. He's above doing that juvenile ranking stuff that his classmates are, even though for some reason he still refers to her with like the ranking that his juvenile classmates gave her. Yeah, he still sucks. Like he's still a bad character.
Do you think at some point he's like, "Hey, will you help me get with the prettiest girl in class?" And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Oh no, you're like the second prettiest for sure." And she's like, "What?"
I want to say that there's no way that would happen, but I can actually envision a world where that happens, and she like enthusiastically goes along with it too. Yeah, I feel that this show is probably not above making her take that personal slight.
Man, I can't wait for the next one of these to come out and we have this exact same conversation all over again.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It just keeps happening.
All right.
Oh my god.
All right, enough talking about this. Enough talking about anime. I'm done. I'm done for the week.
I'm done with this. Wait, did we hit 60? I wasn't keeping count.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we hit 60. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to throw a couple more in just to be safe?
Okay. Wolf's Rain is in anime.
Wolf's Rain, yeah. Pompoko, remember that one?
Oh yeah, Pompoko. I remember that.
Yeah. Cat Soup, Genius Party,
One Piece, Dead Leaves.
One Piece, Dead Leaves, Dragon Ball.
Yeah. What do we got?
Perfect Blue.
Oh yeah, that's an anime for sure.
Shit.
The one about the time traveling underwear from a couple seasons ago.
Kisniver, about the guy who doesn't feel.
Gantz. You remember Gantz?
Gantz, the evil ball.
What's the one with with Lelouch, Lamperouge? Stupid ass name.
You mean Code Gay ass?
Yes, Code Gay. You can't call it that. You can't say that.
That's what it's called. That's what it's called.
No,
I didn't make that up.
You're not allowed to say that on air.
That's what the show is called. Okay, and finally, Aeon Flux. Okay, we're done.
All right. Until next time, handsome, tall, beautiful listeners, go watch some anime. Leave us a comment about it. Hey, some of you left us some comments about it out there.
Well, none of these people. None of these people.
But it could be these people. They could join the exclusive club of people who leave comments on our YouTube videos.
That would be great. Fucking do our work for us and tell other people to listen to the show. Please,
proselytize.
Proselytize, please. I'm begging you.
All right. Until next
Tell
week.
Tell people it's bad. I don't fucking care. Tell
bye.
them to listen to this train
bye.
wreck.
We're saying bye.
Bye. Put him into the Nemesis program.